Hello everyone, today we're going over the Rect pre-workout as you see here. And I've heard good things, so I picked, they got a lot of choices, but this one is the best seller apparently. So 92 reviews, 4.5 stars, I would say it's the best seller. And I've heard good things about this pre-workout, but let's see if it's good or not. So first of all, I gotta calculate if the price is good or not. So obviously how I do this is I take the weight of the pre-workout and then I divide it by the price. And pretty much for these episodes, if you want to know, 1 to 10 is very expensive, 10 is average price, and 10 to 20 is cheap. So this is just above 10. That means that this pre-workout is around that mid-range, more cheap. So let's go on to the ingredients and see if they're worth it or not. For this pre-workout, I looked at it a little bit, and the one scoop ingredients are like severely underdosed. I would probably suggest you take the 2 scoops. However, again, that means that you're going to consume this pre-workout very, very fast. And about 20 times, after 20 times of using this pre-workout, it is going to be gone. However, if you take the 2 scoops, then it will be enough. So let's go into the doses. So L-citrulline, we know it works. The cumulative of all the studies says that citrulline works. And I'm also going to assume that citrulline malate is going together with the malic acid, because malic acid by itself doesn't really do that much, but when L-citrulline is together with malic acid, then it absorbs better into the bloodstream, meaning you're going to get more of L-citrulline. So I'm going to assume that L-citrulline and malic acid is the same thing here. As for the dose for L-citrulline, it is just underdosed, or it is already dosed for the 1 scoop, and then the 2 scoops is highly dosed. So I would say the dose is okay for the L-citrulline. Then we move on to beta-alanine, and I mean, you know my ideas on beta-alanine. It's not good. I can put up the card of why beta-alanine is bad, where I did a video. Pretty much it has a negative relationship with caffeine, meaning that if you want to have enough of beta-alanine, you're going to pretty much hurt yourself. So having beta-alanine in a pre-workout is not ideal. And even if you wanted to take the beta-alanine, it's severely underdosed in both these scoops. So it's underdosed and it doesn't make sense. So yeah. Then we move on to glycericize, and it has glycerol powder, 65%. I'm not quite sure what the other 35% is, but glycerol itself is found to be good. Basically what it does is it hyperhydrates, and this obviously, the more hydrated you are during your workout, the better you can work out and the more endurance you have. And again, here they found that it significantly enhanced fluid retention, meaning you're more hydrated, meaning you can have better pumps and better workouts. And another very, very interesting study that I found here pretty much suggests that glycerol can donate carbons to lactate, and makes it more important to intermediary metabolisms. I'm not quite sure what that means, but it sounds very, very interesting. I'm not quite sure what the study is, but it is very, very interesting. So glycerol, I think, needs a bit more research to see how good it is. But right now we know that it is good. However, we don't know what exactly the uh, dose response of it is, so I'm not quite sure how much of it you should be using. However, I do know that there are specifically like these bottles that you can use to get better performance and better pumps in the gym, and they're basically like pure glycerol. And for these, it pretty much says 1 to 1.5 grams per kilogram. So that means, okay, so it's basically enough. Yeah, okay. So glycericize and glycerol powder here is enough, and it does hydrate, so it is great. Next, we have betaine anhydrous. For betaine, we have the same as L-citrulline. Majority of the data says that it is good. However, or also for dosing, I would say that the 2 scoops is better, but this is also enough. Then we move on to L-tyrosine. Tyrosine pretty much improves cognition and improves memory. It's probably meant for focus in the gym. I'm not quite sure why your memory should be better while lifting weights, but it does work. As per the dosing, dosing is around 100 to 300 milligrams per kilogram. I think that's when you're taking tyrosine on its own. So, but acutely in a pre-workout, I think 1,000 milligrams or 1 gram is okay. And then here, 2,000 is all right as well. Malic acid, we already said that should probably go with L-citrulline, and then it's good. Then we move on to lion's mane mushroom. And for this, I tell you, there was only one study on this, and they actually did find that it was good. So it reduced subjective stress, and it was seen in tests, and improved speed of performance. So I'm surprised to say this, but I think it actually works. And it was used 1.8 grams. So it was a fat dose. So here they should definitely increase it. However, it does work, which I'm a bit surprised about. But yes, it's underdosed. And it's like a lot underdosed. So yeah, you should probably dose that more. Then caffeine anhydrous. The 1 scoop, again, I don't have to explain this, but caffeine anhydrous does work. We all know that. For the 1 scoop, it is not enough, and for the 2 scoops, it is just enough. So if you want the caffeine to work, then you should probably take 2 scoops. Then we move on to, we can also do diet caffeine malate. There's no real study saying that diet caffeine malate is good, or what it exactly does, but it's just another form of caffeine. We know that caffeine works, so that should probably be fine. Then we can do the phenylalanine. I'm sorry, I can't do the words. And for this one, it was very, very weird. Here we can see that it was this. So it was the ingredient, and they pretty much found that it increases metabolism and suppresses feeding and obesity. So, it controls food intake and influences systematic energy balance. And those are big words. However, I feel like this should probably be used in like a fat burner, not a pre-workout. So. And also, I found that it also interacts with medication. So there's apparently a sickness called this, and if you have this sickness, then you should not be taking this. You should not be taking this right here. So that's dangerous. Yeah, I wouldn't say that this is a good ingredient. It works apparently, but it interacts with medicine, which is always bad. And Yeah, I wouldn't put this in a pre-workout. I'll be honest. Then we have theobromine, the legendary. Sprinkle it in a little bit for every pre-workout, and basically, theobromine works. You can look at this study. However, not too much research on it and on the dose that should be used for it. So we know that it works. However, it needs to be studied more for performance. So yeah, I would say inconclusive if you should be using it or if you should not be using it. And lastly, we do black pepper fruit extract. And basically, this study right here, they took 2 grams of this stuff, of black pepper, and it basically found that that it does not induce consistent short-term improvements in sustained attention, motivation, and cognition, or feeling, or mental energy, or fatigue. So they first of all used a lot more than 5 milligrams, and it did nothing. So, quick rundown. This did nothing. This, we don't know if it works or not. Dicaffeine malate is okay. This is not good. This should be probably dosed a bit more. This actually does work, should be dosed more. Malic acid and citrulline does work. Tyrosine works, betaine works, glycerol works, and beta-alanine does not work. So overall, I would actually say it's pretty good. It does live up to the standard. It does have a lot of good ingredients, and they're dosed relatively alright. I would also probably put in theanine. So theanine is just it's basically proven to work, and it's just overall good. But overall, a pretty good formula. Again, you can maximize the values of some contents, but I would say it's pretty great, pretty good compared to the Sebums pre-workout. Probably somewhere here. Yeah, that's fine. Overall, pretty alright. B tier. So that's the rating, and see you in the next one.